Today I'm going to talk about rest and knowing when to do it. So where is the line between feeling a little sore and tired and just not wanting to work out when you can, and actually having overtrained and not recovered and getting to a point where you do need to stop working out to rest? And in a world where there's people that can run marathons or do long distance cycling and swimming, and there's also people out there that can lift 900 pounds, dunk basketballs, run over 20 miles an hour, and do double backflips, I'll tell you that humans are capable of a lot of things. The probability that you are overtraining, especially if you're new to working out or you haven't worked out in a while, is very low. Most of the time, I prefer that we push ourselves and see what we can handle. A lot of the times, you'll surprise yourself. You're tougher than you think. If we ever do get to a point where we think we're overtrained, all we gotta do is stop, and then we'll be good. I think that approach is way better than being on the cautious side and doing too little, and then you never truly know what you're capable of. So that's my mindset when it comes to training. Now, as far as actual signs that maybe you should take a break, if your workouts start getting weaker and weaker, like one day you were able to squat 100 pounds for 10, and now you can only do 90 for 10, or 100 for 8, and that trend continues downward, that's a sign that you might need more rest in between your workout days, or the intensity does need to come down a little bit. It could also mean your calories or your nutrients are too low. It could also be that you're not sleeping enough. Sleep is actually one of the most important factors that contribute to recovery. So if you feel like you might be overtraining, you might just not be sleeping enough. You need at least 6 hours. And for those people who get less and say, well, I can function, I can do okay on less than 6, studies have shown that every human sees detriment when they don't get at least 6 hours. So if you think you're doing okay with less than 6, believe it or not, you would be doing even better than you are now if you got more than 6 hours of sleep. If you're on 3 hours and you want to get a workout in terms of seeing progress, it might actually be better for you to skip the workout if that means you get more sleep in. So in the long run, you might actually get more progress by sleeping more and not getting that extra workout in. Now, that doesn't mean you can just sleep the whole week and not work out and you'll see progress. And so if you're low on sleep and you work out a couple times, it's not a big deal. But if you work out 6 times a week and every time you're doing it, you're running off 4 hours, then you're probably gonna feel pretty run down and you're not gonna get as much progress as if you did get some sleep in. Another thing that can contribute to you feeling overtrained is your hydration. Our body is mostly water. So being dehydrated really takes a toll on you. One way to know if you're hydrated is the color of your pee. The darker it is, the less hydrated you are. Also, if you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. We should have about 1 ounce of water for every 2 pounds that we weigh per day. So if I'm 150 pounds, I should have at least 75 ounces of water every day. If it's hotter outside, you could go as much as doubling that. Same thing if you're really active. So again, if you're feeling overtrained, it might be the exercise. I've written enough programs by now to know how not to overtrain someone and give them just the right amount of work. So if you are feeling like it is a bit much, then your recovery might be the problem. Try getting some days in between your workouts throughout the week instead of having them back to back. Get more sleep, get more water, and make sure the food you're eating is nutritious. If your goal is weight loss and you are feeling a little tired or hungry because you're not eating as much food as you were before, that is a normal sign that you are in a calorie deficit, and so you know it's working. But if your calories are too low and the food you're eating doesn't have that much nutrition in it, then you're not gonna feel that good either. So if you are feeling that you are overtrained, make sure you keep in touch with me so we can go over these things and figure out how we can make some changes so you can keep it going. If you have any more questions, go ahead and ask me.